I had to create the letter. Bless you. Okay. But you can see how this can be really, really useful. Like this right here, this L, I'm gonna make this L work. I can make that L work. Okay. And if I like it, I can upscale one, two. I can upscale number three. I kind of like number four too. I can make number four work. But this one is more or less what I was looking for, something that filled it out completely. So I'm gonna upscale it so it knows that I like it. Upscale three. I'll even upscale four because I like four too. And then once I get it, I can say, okay, well, I like this letter. I want to vary it. I'm going to put very strong, and I'm going to tell it now that I want the letter O. Now we are switching it up, and it may not like what you're switching up right now, but I'm going to see if I can push it. Sometimes I can push it and I get exactly what I want. This one, let me vary that one and make an O and see what I get. You see, I was trying to make an O here, even though it started with the L. So it'll like start off as an L and then it'll start correcting it. It may or may not give me what I want. And if it gives me like a D, then I'll use half of that and flip it and make an O. So just letting y'all know how I do some of these things. I really like how this L came out. Now that was a 6.0 version. And see now because I didn't tell it gems and roses, it's not confused and it gave me something that I really like. I'm gonna go with upscaling 3 here. Ooh, I really like this. Hmm. So same thing I was telling you. It's not giving me an O right now. It's giving me a D because I started off as an L. But what I could do is I could manipulate that further. So let's see the L of that one. It's like this. You know, upscale number one. And then your letters can look different. They don't have to be all uniform. I've actually been playing with just using like mismatched letters so that it looks kind of like a ransom note, but with pretty, pretty letters. So I like, oh, I think this one can easily be turned into an O, and so can four. And then once I upscale them, I have to decide, am I going to try to make that into a V? So now I can take that and make it into the V. And I can take it again. I can vary from that exact same one, and I can make it an E. And we'll see what it comes out with. It's trying, it's pushing. I'm not doing entire alphabet like this. Like literally, you could just take the prompt and re-prompt it as well. So I'll take the same exact prompt, imagine, and then what I'm gonna do a multi-prompt, y'all. Remember, a multi-prompt is just when I'm gonna put my curly brackets, and I'm gonna do L, comma, letter O, comma. Oh, I gotta be inside the brackets though. Comma, letter V, comma, quotes, letter E. Okay, then I close my brackets. Now what I'm doing at this point in time is I'm multi-prompting. It's going to say, you're trying to do these four at one time. Are you sure this is what you want to do? And I'm going to say yes. Now, before I'm prompting off of a single image and I'm pivoting each time. This time I'm creating four separate, totally different prompts and letters. I just happen to create the prompt at the same time, but it's thinking independently. Okay, so you should see that there's going to be a big difference. Like these can kind of look cohesive, like it's a part of a font set, but the ones that I'm doing now probably won't look like they came from the same place. Okay, I like my E there. Um, my V, I got a V that I like. Still looks like I might have to clean it up a little bit, but I can also do a version of my of my V, so maybe it cleans up that little line right there, but I do like that as is if I had to. And then I may run this one again as an O. Okay, so I'm gonna run this one again as an O, even though it's a D. And I know that I could take half of it and flip it. I don't want to if I don't have to. So I'm gonna vary that one again with the O and see if it gets stronger towards an O instead of a D. This one, see how this one's a little stronger as an O? And I can clean that up. This one definitely is an O. U2 and U3 look strong for me. Mm, I think 3 looks more like the L that I like that had that skinny look to it. Mm, mm, mm. All right. I believe this one here, U4, I'm gonna upscale number 4. L, I feel like I can work on L a little bit. 2 is decent, but it's a little too spiky, and I think it's doing a little too much there. So I'm gonna do a version of number 2. Excuse me, y'all. All right. Mhm, mm-mm. So let's see what I'm working with now. This L was something I felt like I needed to fix, but I believe I can work with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and upscale. And I'm not gonna upscale it to the extent because the file will be really large. I'm just gonna open it in browser and then I'll go ahead and grab all of them at once. Okay, so that L, and usually what I will do is I'll download a bunch of them at once and then I'll look at them side by side and see which components I want to work with together. LO, that one, I think I got a better version of that. This E came out nice. I think I am missing the V that I want. This V looks good. And then this V looks good. I had the pink flowers though, so I would probably go in and make those white flowers pink, but we shall see. And then it looks like I'm getting a little bit better L. Mm, number 2 looks good to me. Number 4 looks a little too proper, but it's one of those. It's either 2 or 4. And then what happens is as I'm developing work, sometimes I'll find out that I thought I liked something, but when I see it next to something, I see it juxtaposed against the O or the V or the E, and I'm like, nah, I'll do something different. Okay, so now I'm just gonna save my image. That'll be a letter L. That'll be a letter L number 2. That'll be my V. That's another V, so I'm gonna do V2. And I'll check on you all in a little bit, check on your letters, because that was a bonus tonight. We weren't supposed to be doing the letters, but many of you asked me how I do the letters. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to see how you can do some letters that would do well with your design. For class on Wednesday, you won't have to have letters ready. This letter O, I'm just sitting over here talking. And now my initial letter L looks off because it had a light background and now the other ones have a very deep dark background. So I'll save it, but more than likely I'm going to use my alternate L. So I have LOVE. Okay. All right. And the same thing here, I could take that exact prompt, the multi-prompt that I did, and I'm going to tell it that I want an illustrated version of the letters. And edit my template, grab that whole prompt, / imagine. And then I'm going to tell it that I want a watercolor illustration. And I'm going to do this one and then as 5.2. And then I'm going to do a version as 6.0. And as I'm photoshopping, I'll let that cook. So I'm going to do -- version space 6.0 and let that cook. So now I should have a few different variations of the word love that I can use with my theme. Okay. So like I said, the whole point of this one is that there is going to be some stuff that we have to clean up and fix. So I'm going to go back up into the beginning and tell you what I mean by that. So for instance, this image here, I'm going to have to make the top of her head, because if I want to use her in this capacity, I have to have like at least the top of her head cut out clean. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that one first. Doo-doo-doo. Yes, do your letters in your server. Then that way, let's say if you're doing a frog theme and you want your letters to be like green with, little frog spots on them and stuff, you can make your letters match your theme. And the same thing with the plaid letters. I told it that I wanted plaid letters. Now, you could develop those same things. I meant to show you all. I forgot that I had them cooking over. This is how I burn up food, y'all. I forgot I had this cooking over here in Chat GPT as well. So let me see what my letters turned out looking like in Chat GPT. Eh, it's okay. Well, you know what? This one actually came out better because I started doing only the roses. So actually with the roses and the stones, I think this one came out better. So I would definitely want to redo this one with the watercolor theme and with the 3D theme. And then let's check on this one. Kind of look like they just kind of sprinkled the stones in there. But this is way better than what I would be doing within a 30 seconds on Photoshop. So I can't be mad. Right. So I want y'all to know there are different ways you can use the same prompt, same idea, and get different results from these different programs. All right, all right. I'll save this one so you all have that one. And then let me grab the prompt here so you all will have that prompt inside of the server. So there is this one. This is ChatGPT, one word. And then let me add my ChatGPT letter L. That way you have that in there for reference. And then I'll put the Bing reference in there as well. I would say of all of them, mm, number one, I don't like how it looks like my stone is in like I guess it's in a seashell or something. Looks like it's in an old loose, what do you call it, cupcake wrapper or something. But anyhow, I digress. I'm gonna go ahead and download it so that you know what it's capable of. That's my whole point. My whole point is to show you the variations of the systems that you're using, the prompts that you're using, and even the styles that you're using. Okay. so that you have a pick of the litter where you can make wherever your heart desires. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place that on my channel for you. Oh, it was already on there. I just need to press enter. There we go. And then I'm going to put the Bing version here. So everybody should be doing what I'm doing. Whenever I'm giving you the Bing version versus the Chat GPT. Now I don't have to tell you it's a Midjourney version because you can see by the prompt that it has at the top that it's Midjourney. But whenever I'm not doing Midjourney, if I'm doing Bing or if I'm doing the Chat GPT, this is a reference guide now. So if you want your stuff to look in this manner, you can just copy and paste the prompts and roll. I see people selling prompt books for $200 and literally you don't get any examples with it. I want to be very specific about like what this resource really is. On top of me showing you how to edit this stuff in Photoshop, showing you how to not just how to prompt exactly what I'm prompting, but how to come up with ideas of how to prompt. And then on top of that, you have a whole library at your fingertips of things that other people have helped to work on. So you don't have to start from scratch. Okay, so if I type in the word chibi right now, instead of me creating a whole bunch of chibi characters, I have 631 results, which is usually times four because each of these is going to have four variations. That's way more than my little $10 credits are probably going to get me. So I want you all to use this as a resource, but also understand you are the resource. You coming here, you work in your room, you put in the work to learn is also adding to the value of what this resource is. So when I buy a prompt book, there's $200 of just some words that people type. I don't even know what the images look like. They're just giving me a bunch of words. This is more powerful than that because number one, I can see what the words are giving me. And number two, I can use these images. So when we're in this room, these are images that we can all use for our projects and not have to worry about burning up a whole bunch of credits or burning up a whole lot of midnight oil trying to make every variation of these characters when we have them right here for us. Okay. I love these images. Oh, look at the unicorn. Okay, y'all are gonna do so beautiful with this. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, let me go back to my room real quick. Check on my letters to make sure I don't burn my letters up. Oh, okay. So the watercolor letters, I like how they're coming out. I really do. Okay. And then one more thing I want to do with that. Now you may understand that you can't really do like if you do Chibi-Style, oh, you know what? I probably confused on this one because I have version 6 and version 5.2 on that. That's a no-no, but it's cool. I'm gonna do this prompt again, or maybe I'm not gonna do this prompt again because I didn't do my imagine correctly. All right, /I, then hit enter. Paste that there. And this time, instead of telling it watercolor illustration, I'm going to call this one I want to say this, I want to be a 2D flat illustration and see what it comes up with. Usually a 2D flat illustration is going to be more of something that you would have printed. Oh, look at this, Coach Najla. That is cute. Cute is too cute. I love that. You better go on with your bad self. All right. And see what I was saying about it? I could tell that was immediately 6.0 because she looked like she got an attitude. Like 6.0 ain't playing with y'all. 6.0 got the give serious face. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. Yeah, these are looking really good. All right, so I let y'all cook. Y'all are in the kitchen. Ooh, beautiful. Karen, gorgeous. Okay, let me peek on you. Let me peek in on y'all a little bit. Let me see what y'all got going on before I get into my Photoshop. Yes, come on, letters. Come on, letters. Ooh, you about to do it up with these. You about to do it up with these. Oh, look at the panda. I love it. And then you incorporated the coffee cups. That's popular right now, holding the coffee cups, holding the hearts. Go on with your bad self. I need to use some of your letters. Your letters came out nice. Look at that. Love it. All right. Let's see what we got going on with the teddy bear over here. That's beautiful. Develop some of those letters to go with that. That's gonna be dope. Okay. Oh no, these are too cute. See what's happening? You're using your imagination and a little bit of styling and a little bit of an idea of a prompt that you could run with, and we're all coming up with different stuff. That's gorgeous. Good job, Infinite. Let's see. We're moving on. Don't get discouraged, Sharon. I know those letters be coming out janky, but keep pushing it, baby. You'll have to keep pushing some of those letters until they actually turn into the letter that you're asking for. Unfortunately, these are so cute. Oh, I love it. These are filled with the little bubbles. Okay. I know you tell her to fill it with tiny hearts, but it's like, tiny hearts or bubbles. All right. So the bubbles it is. I love the characters here. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, come on with the letters with the stones. Come on. Looking good. Beautiful, beautiful princesses. Love it. And there are Pooh versions here. Oh, these are beautiful. The Cupid. Okay, you went with the Cupid too. Let's go. And here's the other thing. If you're looking for a letter, then what you can do is you can actually type in, like I can type in letter, the word, like type in the word letter, and I can see anywhere where somebody's developing letters. And I can say, ooh, I like those sunshiny roses there. I might can incorporate that in one of my projects. And it just gives you like a straight up, not just idea book, but these are things you can click on, upscale, and roll with. Okay. Y'all doing a beautiful job. All right, so let me go on to Photoshop so I can show you. If you want to use your letters, you're probably going to have to do some work. Let me see. I'm just going to check a couple more rooms too. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let y'all work a little while longer while I'm doing Photoshop because I think some of you all are still working and I
The
want to come
recording
check
has
your work.
stopped.
Okay, so this
This
looks,
meeting is being recorded.
look at the little ghost. Cute, cute. Look at the little monsters. Okay. Now I would, of course, I would be wary of using anything like that. But like the little monsters, even this is not technically Dora, right? So you could use something like that. I think if somebody wanted a Dora the Explorer party and they did like that second image, to me, that looks better than the Dora the Explorer character. And I'm not worried about exploiting Dora, the character that might be able to sue me. Okay. But I really like that second image right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna upscale it so I have it for later. Beautiful. Create your own dragon characters. Y'all, this could go on forever. All right, so let me show y'all some Photoshop. Let me show y'all. Let me check Emma's room. Emma, were you 13? Why you pick 13? You are 12. She's trying to be 13 so bad, y'all. It's just itching her to be 13. And she realized, oh, maybe I need to slow life down and go back. That's what we all want to do. When we're kids, we want to be teenagers and grown-ups. Oh, these are nice, Emma. I like how you did these. What did you do? Illustration? I like those. Yeah, when you put the word chibi, it does tend to put a character. But you could also tell it, to do like a storybook illustration. That's another word, combination of word or style that I like to use. But these look really pretty. Very nice. Oh, you got you use a 6.0 too. So 6.0 is giving you better letters as well. Very nice. Keep working. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into my Photoshop. I'll come check on y'all's rooms later. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and create a new 13 by 19 image here. So I'm gonna go to new, then go to the print size. I'm gonna type in 13 by 19. I'm gonna leave it at 300 pixels per inch. I use 150 whenever I'm doing large format projects, especially when I'm giving you all those templates, because 150 is plenty when you're doing like all over shirts and banners and things of that nature. Because sometimes I give you 300 pixels per inch or dots per inch files when they are large format, and those files are way too large for a lot of your systems. So I'm just letting you know now. Only reason why I'm doing 300 DPI is because it's 13 by 19. Okay. All right. So I am going to go to I'm gonna go to my folder here. And you all continue prompting in the rooms, y'all. I'm gonna check on y'all in a little bit. Those of you all who are in the AI in Action class. And if you're not in AI in Action class, today is Levi's 11th birthday. So everything of the Brand on Demand website, every AI class or Photoshop class is only $11. So normally it's $40. They are $11. So as long as you say happy birthday to Levi, you don't have to put in a coupon code or anything. You can just head over to the Brand on Demand site and click on any of the AI classes or the Photoshop classes. Oh, Levi had to put himself on camera. Yes, so we can thank Levi for being born today. Thank you, Levi. Oh, and he's showing off his microphone, his professional microphone. All right, so let's go ahead and get into pulling in our images here. So I'm gonna bring it up over here just so you all can see sort of what I'm working with. Um, Before I bring them in, and what I could do, how about this? I'm gonna bring them all in. This is how I bring them all in. I'm going to select them all, drag and drop them here, and go ahead and hit enter each time I bring it in. And keep in mind, what Midjourney can build, you can build too. So if you wanted to build these from scratch, have at it. That is your prerogative. However, I will not stick around to show you that part. Um, I might take like a little rose and fill something out, but I'm not building these from scratch. Not when I have the power of AI. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to come on over to our object selection tool. I'll go down here, choose cloud and hit select subject just because I want to see what it cleans up. That looks pretty decent. I'll go ahead and create a layer mask. And then what I'm going to do is anything that's not selected yet, I'll put here. And then I'm going to turn off the folder underneath. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a color, a solid color. Are we recording right now, y'all? I just want to make sure. Customer happiness, are we recording? Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure, because the Photoshop stuff, y'all know I like to be one and done with stuff. I don't want to have to do it again. All right, so there's probably some things that could be cleaned up here, but for the most part, I think this is fine. I'm putting a crazy color in the background here so that I can really see what it looks like on the background of a shirt. You could also put it on black and see what it looks like in black. I like to choose a crazy color only because I don't want to be confused about what might be shading, highlight, or anything like that. Okay, so that one's done. I'll go ahead and bring my next one out of hiding. And same thing here. I'll go to the cloud, select subject. And I think that one kind of automatically select the subject, but it did fine. I believe it did. Let's see. All right. And this could be cleaned up a lot better. Now, I'm going to show you all what I prefer to do is actually pull them into a program like Remove BG and let that do the work for me. And this one, which one of these was the lighter version? Are you okay in there? Mr. Levi? You okay? Oh, okay, you're getting water. I was gonna say something like something was tearing up. All right, so I'm gonna drag these over here. I just feel like it does a better job with cleaning things up without me having to tweak anything. So I'm gonna let this do its part and hit start. And let's see, 7 files in probably about 10, 15 seconds. Not bad. Let me go to my folder here. And then as these are already cut out, I can just drag and drop them onto my artboard. And then I feel like it does a better job cleaning them up. You can be the judge. I'll bring them in and then I'll show you. And I'm just hitting enter for each one that is bringing in. All right, so mm-mm. And I'm going to turn all of them off except for one at a time. Yeah, this is much better. So my V, I could choose which V I want. I'm going to take the V's. Oh, I could even combine them. That looks good. Okay, Shannon. So I'm going to group that and I'm just going to call that my V group for right now. That way, if I need to choose which one or combine them, they're in one folder. All of my L's. I'm going to get rid of those ones that I had to cut out the background of because, like I said, I don't think it's worth it. My O, that's the one that I'm going to have to make an O out of this. And I think like I'm just looking at it here, seeing like what I could possibly cut or if I should flip it. Now the other thing I can do, okay. I'll show you some tricks with that O. The L looks like we have quite a few options for the L, but let me group those and call those all an L. Oh, I have my caps lock off apparently. Okay, there we go. So I have an L, S, a O-ish, is not quite an O yet, and an E. I want to keep all of these the same size as I'm moving them around. So what I'm going to do is kind of reduce them all together. And the whole point is I want to be able to spell out Love, put my little character in there and have some fun. So my V, let me activate that again. And I want to get them about the same size. And these, y'all, I want y'all to imagine too that these were not developed the same way. So they might be a little bit taller, more narrow, a different color red. This is what I deal with when I'm dealing with AI artwork. So I want to show y'all so y'all don't think it's just like, just literally getting on the computer and playing with a couple of words. A finished product does require some work, especially if you want to create more of a collection. Like for instance, my roses here are a little bit different. Maybe I would make these a little more pink, even though those aren't even roses, just to make it look more cohesive. All right, so my O would go up here. And then my L, I want to make sure they're about the same size before I start moving them. All right, so my L, I'm going to bring over here. And make it just a tad bit smaller. I'll probably do the same thing with my O. All right, so there we have it. All right, so my L, I'm bringing it up to the top here. Boom, my O, and I'm holding down shift as I'm bringing it up so that it keeps it locked in vertically. Okay, nudge it up just a little bit. And do y'all see where I'm going with this now? While I'm teaching you how to make these components so you can build these. But at the same time, when I make a template, you know what goes into that template and you have an idea of the value of it because I don't just, slop things together. I really do pull concepts together for you all that will work over and over again. All right, so for O, let me turn off everything else except for the O. I feel like it gives it a better ability to regenerate if I need it to. Here's one thing that I can do. I can take my lasso tool and I can say, all right, I want this to be an O. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an opportunity right now to clean this top up. I'm just going to hit generative fill and generate and see if it helps me clean it up. I think I was on the wrong layer. It's like, yeah, it helped you clean up, make some more green. That's not what I wanted, Booski. I want you to be up here. All right, so let's try that again. I'm going to go over the parts that I kind of want to redo. I'm on the O layer. Now, I really should have done this while I had the background on. So if that's going to be a big deal, I can show you the difference between doing it with or without the background on, because it uses that white in the background as a reference of what to fill in there. And let's see. That one, it cleaned that up a little bit for me. I like that. I don't appreciate that. And then I feel like I can get rid of this little piece here. So I'm going to rock with this. So what it's doing right now is it's using the green to fill in. So that's fine. I'm going to take this and I'm going to merge it down. Now, the only way I can merge it down is unfortunately, if I rasterize it first, then merge it down, which is fine because it's not much smaller at all. It's actually probably a little bit bigger than the original image. I'm fine with that. And then if I want to get rid of it again, I could try this one more time on this side and say, all right, I want you to clean that up one more time. And this is how I have to create cues, because sometimes it will not create a cue. So what I have to do is I have to take a O and then I have to give it a little leg or something here. And honestly, I can go for that. Let me go ahead and merge that down. Okay. And then same thing down here. I'm going to say, all right, I want an O, but I want to get rid of this little kickstand here. Now, another thing I could have done is literally copied the left side and flipped it horizontal. But usually what that means you are going to have issues with your shadows because your shadows are going to be flipped. That looks pretty good right there. Pretty good, buddy. I think I like it's got a little bit sticking out there, gives a little weight on that side. I'll rock with that. All right, so let's merge it down. Now, of course, I have all this green stuff out here. So again, I'm going to go to Object Selection Tool, Cloud, select Subject, and I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Now I'm going to turn this green off. I knew it was going to do that because it has such a hard time. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to merge this all down, and then I'm going to put it into Remove BG because I don't have time to play with this. Let's go ahead and that's why I should have done it with the white background first. But this does show you where that color is coming from. So let's see what I say. I was going to merge that down. Let me delete the layer mask and then see if it'll let me merge it down. Oh, I can't merge this down until I rasterize the color layer. So let me rasterize that layer and then I should be able to merge it down. There we go. And then what I'll do is I will take this and I'm just going to call it my letter O. Put that in my downloads. All right, so that's going to be my O, letter 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and use remove BG to clean that up. Refresh here. There it goes. And before I clean it up, I want to get rid of all that extra space around it. I want to actually crop it down. All right. And then I can close out of this and save it. Remove BG. Now I can drag and drop it like it's hot from the downloads folder. There it is. Drag and drop it there. Hit start. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag it in from the folder here. It does a much better job of cleaning the outside, although I really don't even like the green that it put on the outside there. All right. That teaches me a lesson about merging my stuff with the ugly green. I usually use white, the background layer, when I'm merging and doing my extra images here. So now what I would have to do is I would actually have to remove the green from this. Do I want to? Not at the moment. So let me just take my hue saturation here. This is extra work that I have to do because I didn't do it clean the first time. I'm going to clip this down to create clipping mask here. But this is what I would do. I'm going to go ahead and bring in all of my letters now. So, and then I'll turn off my funky color and just use the white background because I should have learned my lesson the first time. All right, and that L, I think this L is perfect to use. I kind of like that L, but I think this L fits more with the theme. So I'll try this L, O, and then V. And then do I want to use both V's or just one? I think I'm just going to use the second one because the first one has the white flowers in it. All right. I also could pull this one to the back. It fills it out a little bit. Nah, I think I'm good with just using this one. All right, so that is kind of my setup. It looks very similar. I would say that maybe these reds are a little bit different, a little bit darker than the L, and the E reds are a little bit darker than the O. So if I wanted to change that stuff, yes, I will go into my O and go into my hue saturation, tap on one of these reds, and maybe change the lightness, bring it up a little bit, bring the saturation up a little bit so it's a little brighter and not as dull. That looks good. I'll take the same thing. I'll alt click and drag this above the E layer and then create a clipping mask. If I can find create a clipping mask, let's make sure it's on the right. It wasn't on the same layer, I don't believe. Now I should be able to create a clipping mask. Boom. And go into the reds there. Pull my saturation just a little bit. Okay, and I can do the same thing like with the pinks and that sort of thing. I just don't want to spend an entirely lot of time on that because the idea here is that I wanted to show you how even when you create things, you may have to clean things up. The other thing I wanted to show you how to do, and we'll go to our characters for tonight. So I liked my 3D character here, and I really like this 3D character here. However, if I want to use them in my imagery, I feel like I have to extend the image a little bit. So what I'm going to do is use my crop tool here. And what you can do is it says delete crop pixel delete cropped pixels, or to fill, you can do a generative expand. I'm going to put it on generative expand and see what it does for me. I'm just going to pull this up here, and I will pull this down just a little bit here as well. And then I'm going to hit enter. And what'll happen is it'll automatically do the generative fill function because I had it on the generative expand mode. And I don't know why I pulled it up so much at the top there. Look at her little swirly knees. Let's see. I want a longer dress, definitely. Okay. I don't know what those things are in her hands, but that one somewhat works with the longer dress. I can go with that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and merge that down. And that looks much more like a character that I could use now because it doesn't have the top of the head cut off. So I'll go ahead and save that. And then same thing here. What I'm going to do is expand the top and bottom separately so it doesn't get so confused. And I'll go ahead and do the generative expand, hit enter. And now that it recognizes this is more of a 3D character, it should fill in the top of the space there with more of a 3D hair and 3D bow. So this is something that you're going to want to learn. Okay, you don't want to keep putting this off because you'll be behind the curve with the AI. All right, let me go ahead and merge that down. And y'all, I don't have this part planned. Like literally, whatever we come up with in AI class on Mondays, I want to show you the real deal, what I would do in real time as a Photoshop problem solver, because that's what you are. You're an innovator in Photoshop. All right, and let's say I wanted a little bit more of the dress here. I'll pull that down and hit enter to let that generate. All right, meanwhile, stop it. Did they give her horse hoofs? Wow, maybe those are clogs. However, I think that dress isn't so bad if I wasn't looking for the feet, but I could also keep that part and regenerate the shoes. Now, this one doesn't show much of the shoes, which is probably the way I want to go. Um, I like the bottom of that skirt better, but yeah, in order not to deal with, and then her fingers, I didn't even pay attention to what it was doing with her hands. This one, okay. So here's how it goes. One did much better with the hands. Two did better with the skirt. Actually, it kind of did okay with the hands and better with the skirt. This one, I don't know what it did. It says, grab my good hand. That's all I can think of. But I want to use this hand and redo the shoes, or this hand and redo the skirt. Okay, I'm going to use this one for the hands. Yeah. See, the hands are almost there, but not really. So these hands are best for me. Let me go ahead and merge that down. Then what I can do is I can say, all right, I really don't like the rest of this, but I want to keep those hands. So I'm going to come up here to where the skirt is, save the hands, and see what it gives me there. Let's just see here. I'm going to generate there. She's a Snow White centaur. And I don't know what it was thinking here. These are some, remember the Manolo Blahniks we used to have, or I didn't have them. I had the fake versions. No, not the films. No, no, ma'am. What is this? She's wearing a lace front as a skirt. Nobody told you to do that. Nobody. Not a soul. All right, listen. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go back. I'm gonna show you how you can actually use multiple of the AI layers. Okay, so let's say I like this one. What I'm gonna do is duplicate it because I like the hands from this one. And I feel like if I keep forcing it to do AI, it's gonna do some funky stuff. I can tell when Photoshop is tired of me. Okay, it's gonna start giving me garbage. I did say that I liked this one as far as the second part of the skirt. Okay. But the hands from this one. All right. So let me rasterize this layer. I'm going to rasterize that layer. Then I'm going to rasterize this layer. Like I said, y'all get to see in real time what I do, how I do, and if it works. All right. So I will keep the hands from this one. Okay. And then I'm going to delete that layer mask and just apply this one. Okay. All right. And then, oh, yeah, I was supposed to keep the other one with the other shoes. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see if it gives me some different shoes. I don't know. I think I'm pushing it. I probably am pushing it. I know I'm pushing it. All right. So here I'm going to go ahead and merge the hands down. That off. Nope, I'm not going to merge the hands down because I still need to fix these. I need to fix whatever we want to call these clogs slash busted cans of biscuits and a muffin tin. I don't know. All right, let's just fix it. Let's see what it comes up with. If we just generously tell us, hey sir, I'd like some more dress. Let's see. Let's see what it gives us. Mm, mm, all right, here. But I think the problem is I do need to merge this down. And if I merge it down, maybe it will help me clean this area up here. Let's see. You got a core line version of it. Oh no. Okay, I can rock with that. She's got her little velvety skirt on and maybe some little fake or Air Force Ones under there that nobody could tell that they fake. That's fine. I can rock with that. Let me see what it gives me though, as far as options. Okay, not to step up. Are you finna show us? No, don't show us that. Put that foot back. All right. So now I can merge that down. And I can keep playing with this, y'all. I can literally just keep playing with this until it gives me something more desirable. But I will tell you this, make sure you're saving as you're going because I haven't been and I'm tripping and I probably shouldn't even say it out loud. But you definitely want to be saving because the more you're using AI in Photoshop, you are pretty much, using up the RAM and the memory that it is going to take to generate these images over and over again. Okay, so now she has no feet. Interesting. Well, we'll go back to the fake Air Force Ones. Go back to my history. I can deal with those. I can deal with those. Okay. All right. And then I have her hands and I still need to clean up. Actually, you know what? I'm not mad at those hands, especially when they're done. Remember I tell you we get all picky until we have to do a whole bunch of stuff? Yeah, because then I would have to delete these hands in order to put those hands. I don't feel like it. I think this is good. All right. I think it's good enough. I think my customer would never know that, I didn't change and put smaller hands there. Okay. And even here, if I wanted to clean this up and fill that in, I could do that. Now, just this little area here, because I feel like it looks like a little slit in a dress. Generative fill, generate. So hopefully that's some fun for y'all because we are over time. I'm going to pull the character into the little love idea so that you get what you're tracking and you're picking up what I'm putting down and we get the idea of why I'm doing what I'm doing tonight. Okay, so we have our 3D version. And what I'm going to do is just real quick throw this into my remove BG. Grab my little images. And then I'm going to call this 3D Blanca because I'm not going to put Snow or White in there. 3D Blanca. Yeah, let me do that. One's not 3D Blanca. This was Chibi Blanca. All right, so I'm going to pull those on over to my remove BG. Let it do what it do. Hit start. That should be done by now. All right, and I'm gonna bring these all the way to the top up here. And you all asked me more about teaching you how to build from scratch. Well, if you like it, here it is. And I spent all that time making that O right, and I'm gonna put this character right over it. Well, one thing you could do if you don't like something, just like we used to draw them ugly hands in school, and you didn't like how the ugly hands looked in the drawing, you just, stuck the hands behind the pocket or you put something in front of it. You can do the same thing as a grown up in Photoshop. Okay. You don't like how something looks, figure out a way to conceal it. Okay. But that's my 3D version. And then what I would do um, is go back and let me see what my, oh, y'all working. Oh, you know what? See how I thought I was gonna cook, and instead of burning something up, I forgot to turn the stove on. Y'all see what I did? I was sitting there talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna let this cook while I'm over in Photoshop. Y'all don't let me cook and do nothing else. It got to a point, I think when I was around 12, where my daddy would not let me cook in the kitchen. Actually, I think I was older now. I'm trying to downplay it. I probably was more attentive when I was 12. When I was around 14, and I guess I was a distracted teenager, I would have to stand in front of the stove and I could do nothing else but stand in front of that stove while I was cooking. Because if I went to go work on a project or go do some research on the computer or go make some crafts or whatever it is that I was doing, I would automatically burn up the food. Just let you know, I do the same thing with sublimation shirts. Them 50 seconds, some 60 seconds, I try to go find something else to do, and I end up setting myself up. All right, so this is illustration, but this is not what I wanted. I'm going to tell it that I want more of a 2D flat. I told it I want a 2D flat illustration. It did not give me that. I'm going to tell I want a cartoon version this time because I just wanted to show you that if you want the characters to match the lettering style, that you have that option too. So I'm going to run prompt again, red roses. This time I'm going to tell it a cartoon illustration. Or I like the storybook. I don't show y'all that one enough. The storybook illustration style. You can also do comic book illustration style. I love watercolor illustration style. So just play with different styles and see what you get out of that. Now, I'm not going to cut these letters out with y'all. Like I said, I will have a template ready for you on Wednesday with a lot of this hard work already done. But the idea is that you understand why you're learning AI and why it's super powerful to know Photoshop and AI. So that is it, my loves. We are over time, but I feel like we've learned so much. I'm going to check on some of y'all's rooms just like real quick before I head out. Ooh, these are cool. Okay, Photo G. Let's go. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna have some fun in these rooms. I'm gonna have some fun checking on y'all in these rooms. And then what we do afterwards too, y'all, we have some of our coaches, and then we have the Innate Academy kids who will come in afterwards and go into the rooms and see where you all might need some help and help to fill out the prompts. Oh, these came out really nice. And also go ahead and help like create additional images inside your rooms that go with your themes. So it helps everybody. If they help you, if they help one person, it's going to help everybody. All right. So very nice. Good stuff. Now I want you all, you could do some other letters. I want you to start playing with some other textures. You could tell it that you want leather letters. You can tell it that you want elephant skin. Um, just play with it. You could tell you want it to have basketball texture, football texture. So definitely play with developing those letters because it's going to give us a lot to work with. These are gorgeous. Very gorgeous. I can see that. And see how that's not Princess Tiana. You can rock with that, y'all. Okay. You all did a beautiful, beautiful job. This is skips on. No, now I gotta check on 28 now, Coach Des. Ooh, that D looks dope. I love that. All right, so I gave you props or something. Okay, these are pretty. What you talking about? Let me see. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That version 6, I'm telling you, they be looking like some Chuckies. Version 6 has not sold me quite on the 3D characters or like those kind of cutesy lovey characters. They look like they got a little rain on their parades. Oh, this is too cute. I love it. All right, come on, face. Yes. And see how these are going to help your design stand out. If everybody else is scrolling and they're reusing Moana from Disney and they're using the Jasmine from Aladdin, like you're going to stand out because you have the essence of those images, but you look much better and you look much more differentiated from all your counterparts who all they can think of is to steal the same thing that everyone else is using. And it's so much more of a threat to get your Etsy store or your Shopify store shut down. Okay. Cease and desist is real, y'all. Don't ask me how I know. Oh, look at it. Looks good. Come on, Jalen. Love it, love it, love it. Y'all keep, ooh, these yellow roses. My granny would love these. Yes. Gorgeous. Okay, y'all getting fancy on me. All right. Well, I'm not going to be able to go through all of these rooms because I'm going to bid y'all good night. All right. So this one, Levi, you got your microphone on? Would you like to do the honors since you have your microphone? You want to turn your camera on? Huh?
I just now turned on my mic.
Okay. You got your camera on? All right. So this time I'm gonna mouth and you're gonna say it. You ready?
What?
You're gonna say, all right. Well, I'll start it off and then I'll let you say the last part, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this has been a beautiful night, a beautiful AI in action class. As always, I'm super impressed with everything that you do, and I want you to keep it moving, keep going, and make sure that you are staying on your creative path. Now, y'all know what time it is. You know we appreciate you and we love you dearly. And Levi's favorite part is bye.
Bye.
Y'all have a great night. Good night, everyone.